first purchased this tract, it looked real similar to all that prairie there. See all the cedars and aspen and massive stands of sumac. That's what a lot of this unit looked like. So we came in right away, and actually DNR worked with the landowner previous to that to do a bunch of the cedar work. And we came in right away and did a whole bunch of additional tree work to take out a lot of the deciduous trees. There was Siberian elm all over it and cottonwoods all around the gravel pit. But it had dense stands of sumac over your head, this big around. You'd swear there was nothing underneath it. It was beautiful in the fall when it turned red and orange, but it was terrible. And so we really struggled. What are we going to do with that sumac? Because we, sure, we could go in with Garlon and spray it all, and then whatever might be alive underneath is dead. So I asked my biologist to do some research, and he came back to me after a while and he says, from what I'm reading, you can get rid of a lot of woody vegetation if you mow it twice a year for 3 years in a row. And you want to time it so it's just reaching its terminal bud, which around here is late June, July on sumac. And then you want to come back and hit that regrowth in around late September. Well, you can see what the topography is here. So we got our skid loader and carbide cutter out, and we needed a carbide cutter the first time because the sumac's, some of it's this big around and over your head. Mowed it all down, and we had to go straight up and down the hills. You didn't dare turn sideways on these hills. Even with the tracked skid loader, it was, the guy that did it told me, he needed to go home at night and relax because he had the pucker factor on all day long. Okay, so we did that. And then after the first mowing, we were able to come in with much lighter mowing equipment, just a deck mower, because, the sumac is quite tender, the regrowth. And 3 years in a row, mowing it twice a year, pretty much knocked it completely out. And I don't know if we want to walk over there. This hill wasn't bad, but over there, that whole hill was solid sumac. And it has come back beautiful with natives. It's really, really nice stuff. This site is a brand new site. This thing was covered with spotted knapweed before we purchased it. I assume that he fed his cattle in the winter out there, and I would imagine it came in with hay, because we don't have a whole lot of it in this area yet. So if you look at the grassy areas, you see that kind of silvery grayish hue? That's all spotted knapweed. It's bad. But so 2 years ago, we've released several species of weevil that we're finding are working quite well on spotted knapweed. So we've just got some new release sites over there on that. And then the low areas, that's all plumeless thistle, bull thistle. That's all the areas that we disturbed. The building site, we came in with dozers and excavators and literally dug everything out. The root balls of the big trees and everything. So it was black ground when we were done, and it was seeded last spring. Well, last summer we had a terrible drought here, so the seeding is it needs a lot of help. It'll come. Every seeding will come. I've been doing it for a lot of years, and I've learned just to be patient, but sometimes you need to do a lot more management on it if you don't get a good catch. So we'll probably be mowing all that early next week. And just knocking it down. Up here on our prairies, our invasive species are, woody vegetation, and then some of the others I mentioned, and we try our best to implement management practices that don't include a herbicide. Other than cut stump treatments, when we come in to initially cut the deciduous trees, you got to treat them with herbicide because it just makes them mad and they come back worse. When I was out in the Dakotas where it was drier, I don't know the difference. We could cut a tree, deciduous tree, and it died. Over here, almost nothing you cut dies, unless it's a cedar or a pine. But let me tell you, native prairie is priceless. Public lands are priceless. Regal fritillaries are priceless. On the money side of it, our budgets with Fish and Wildlife Service are bad right now. Our staffing's low. If it was not for the Outdoor Heritage Fund and all the wonderful partners, Pheasants Forever, Ducks Unlimited, Nature Conservancy, Trust for Public Lands, we would not be able to have done what we've done.